Go ahead.
Okay, well, let's start this workshop. Let me open the um let me see here. Okay. Can you see the screen? I don't see anybody.
Yes, I can see the PowerPoint.
Okay, perfect. So welcome to this workshop, Borrow Life, Try on Another Self. And I think this will be an interesting one because as writers, a lot we tend to do that to create new perspective, new life, to be another human being, woman, man, to experiment with others, like to get out of ourselves. So that's a very important in that perspective. So I just want to ask you some questions like why do you think, like, why are we so fascinated by other people's life? Why do we stare at strangers in airports, for example? Why do we become obsessed with certain characters that we see or we read about them? Why do we imagine what it would be like to be someone else? I want you to share with me some of your thoughts about these questions before we start with the exercises. Tell me something. Kim, Leslie, Idalmi.
Sorry, I was putting my thoughts together. But I find this
Okay.
very interesting. I have this belief like, oh, maybe I knew this person in another life. Because sometimes you meet someone, and even though you've seen them for the first time, there's like this feeling of familiarity, like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
met them before. And I've had that happen to me a couple of times. It also like sometimes I've had moments where like I imagine like, oh, what my life would be like if I was living in their life,
Exactly.
because you get curious, right? Because we are everyone has like a whole internal world, right? And so we live
Hmm.
so much in our internal world. Like, what would it be like to,
To be
meet
someone else.
someone others?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Oh, to have another life. Yeah, thank you, Idalmi. Kim, what about you? What do you think about this topic?
Sorry, I am in the middle of eating. But I guess mm, for me, I'm just, I don't know if this makes sense, but I'm fascinated with people who can write others people's life. Like I'm always amazed to see the other writers, how many like how thoughtful they can be to create like any amount of different characters. Like I'm
Hmm.
watching a series very it's very silly series, but it's but it's I have fun watching that. But it's called Machos Alpha. It's from Spain, and I'm always like fascinating by the so many lives of the writer that it's like encounter each of them. So I think that's my fascination more than the characters.
Yes, totally. And also, I think it's interesting what Leslie says, like, but to be honest, I got off social media because I start comparing myself with others. So sometimes, yes, that could be unhealthy, but here we will just explore the healthy parts of what would happen if, this what if that creativity has for us. So basically, because we want to explore desires and maybe we don't allow ourselves to do it in our lives because we want to escape sometimes for from ourselves or others because we are searching for new possibilities, because we understand who we are, imagining others' perspective or having another life. So it's like basically our imagination in power. So yes, like every life that attracts us contains information about us, like what we admire, what we reject, what we envy, what we fear. Like if I'm a person that I don't like to yell to others, and I see other person that this person is just yelling and telling what this person thinks, and I'm not like that, then maybe I can create a character that can do that for me. That I allow this character to be what I don't do in my normal life. Okay, so we will explore together those exercises. And also like we don't actually want maybe this life, but the feeling that we think the person has, like freedom, adventure, love, power, belonging, recognition, because we don't know. It's like what Leslie said, like in social media everything is perfect, but when you know this person, then you realize, oh, she's so insecure, or the relationship is not perfect. So it's like can be tricky as well. It's not everything black and white. And you know, from the psychology perspective, brings that for us, because before we start with the exercises, like we imagine ourselves through other people, like they reveal hidden desires, unexplored possibilities, or fears we have not fully acknowledged ourselves. So why this person bothers me so much, it starts with me, not with the other, or why I feel so comfortable with this person. So it's like this projection of the other in me and what we can find around that. And what we have the opportunity as writers is like maybe you had never been a spy, but you want to create this character, but you had felt fear. So you can start from there, taking that feeling and create something. So you don't have to go through the event or have this situation in your life. You can imagine or research about this to create. Okay. And in that way, we find different future, different choices, different destinies. So now before we start, it's like the elements to have this opportunity is first what Idalmi says is like we need curiosity. Like, what if? What could happen? We need to acknowledge the desire that we have in other people and in ourselves, but we are afraid of. Contradiction, like I want to be this type of person, but instead I do this. So here starts something to create. The emotional truth, like the thing that I don't allow myself to be or to feel, maybe I can do it through a character. So this can be also healing and transformative for the creation. Or secrets, things that I don't tell other people, but I have inside of me. And I put a character that has this situation. So it's gonna be interesting. So let's start with the first exercise. And basically, it's like you're gonna imagine a version of yourself who made one radically different decision 10 years ago. You will go back to a certain situation and you are going to change this situation. Wherein you can also think about where do they live, who they love, what have they gained, what have they lost, and you will write this scene. For example, let's imagine 10 years ago, I decided to move to New York, but instead I'm going to change this decision and I'm going to stay in Dominican Republic. So I'm going to write about this new version of myself. What would have happened if 10 years ago I would have taken another decision? Okay. So let's start the timer. Think about the situation first, and then what would you want to change about this situation? Okay? Okay, before we go to the next, anyone want to share like which situation you pick or what happened in the process? Was it easy to find the other situation, like the change, or you had many possibilities? I don't see anybody. I want to see faces, please. I only see black
Oh,
here.
I can begin. Hi, Ellie.
Hi, Rosa. Nice to see you. Tell me.
Likewise, likewise. I thought that we were supposed to be with the camera off. That's why I kept my camera off.
No, not at all.
So, to answer your question, I have many, many possibilities, and I just wanted to. I spend most of the time just thinking, what can I get that I can sort of distort it. So I
Mhm.
just wrote something very, very small. If I can share it.
No,
Um,
at the
oh,
end,
oh,
just I
okay.
want to
I
know
didn't.
more of the creative process, like
Okay.
what happened. And I love what you said, like you have many possibilities. So you took a time to decide like which could be better in this
Yeah.
way. So
Thank
thank you for that. At the end, we will share. Okay.
you.
What else? What happened, or which situation you choose?
I,
Rosita?
yes, I had a hard time. Um, and my life is so full of pain that I didn't want that anymore. So
Okay.
so the life that I started creating was the life that I want right now, but I placed it 10 years ago so that
Very good.
I could see what I could gain if I made that decision 10 years ago, what I would have gained. And that's therefore what I lost, what I haven't done. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Rosita. Yeah, sometimes we have these sad memories, but what if something else wouldn't happen, or if I am another person, or I feel in other ways? So that's interesting. Any other person that wants to share what happened? Sometimes it's not hard to change decisions or what happened in our personal lives. So I think this also is a good exercise to work with ourselves and what happens in our thoughts, in our memories, and that could be interesting. Okay? Okay, so let's keep exploring things. So the next exercise is about the stranger. So you're going to choose a stranger you've been recently thinking about, or you can create one. And you're going to give this person a complete life, like create a life for this person that you don't know. But there is a condition for this exercise. They carry one of your deepest fears or one of your deepest desires. Never let us know directly which is this desire or this fear. It will just reveal through the writing. So, for example, I saw a woman walking the other day and I'm thinking about this woman. So, I'm going to take this person, I'm going to put a fear of mine in her, and I'm going to create a story. Or I will create if I don't have someone in mind. But try to use someone you saw because that will be interesting. Okay? So let's see what happens with this one. I'm going to put the timer. Okay. Play, allow yourself to play, to create, to find things around this exercise. Also, you can start thinking like what this person has in common with me or not. This could be like a question that helps you to create. Okay. Okay. Can you tell me like what caught your attention about this stranger? Why you choose this person to talk about? For example, I always said an example in my workshops that I was once in a supermarket walking around and I saw a man and he took like a hairbrush and he started brushing his hair and then he put it back and continued walking. And I was like, okay, this can be an amazing introduction for a character, and I don't have to tell anything else. Just this image will be just so impressive for a reader to start the story. And I just kept this in my mind always. So I just want to know like what caught your attention of this stranger for you? Let me know.
I think they're similar to you. I just remember a story that a friend of mine shared about a woman that he met and they sleep together for 2 nights and then she asked her to move and to live together and to travel together. And he was like, wait a minute, like, but the thing is, like, she's very successful woman in her country, very successful, has tons of books written. She's very outspoken, and I was like, oh, I mean, I respect so much women, but I wonder why she's like that. Like, what triggers her? Why she right away does she feel any type of connection? Like, I just like, and I think that's a great introduction for a character. Like, why it make me, I'm so triggered by that, because how can you be so, successful and have, I don't know, I don't even know how to say that, like, because I don't know her and I'm not planning to know her, but I don't even know her name, but it's so, yeah, so just taking into another's person life. No.
Yeah, definitely. And maybe something you won't do. So it's like, okay, you try to understand, you try to like how this, you ask yourself questions or the way you think, or if I'm being judgmental or not, or why this caught my attention. That's interesting, Kim. And this was someone that tells you this story. You didn't saw the person. Okay. Interesting. What else? Another person. Who was your stranger?
My stranger has a name.
Okay.
And I met her. She was holding a workshop in her artist studio. And oh my gosh, her artist studio was just so dreamy, like and it smelled so good, all the paints and the brushes and the canvases. And there was some boxes that had a story in her studio, and she showed us it was full of cards that she had designed, gorgeous, like Pegasus flying on her windowsill, like, oh, just very dreamy. The problem is that the woman that was supposed to distribute them hadn't, and she was thinking of suing her. And
Okay.
so that stranger had would I love to live in an apartment like that. It was a studio. It was a
Her space, her energy,
oh,
you were attracted to
oh,
that.
oh.
Okay.
And the procrastination of that other one, and the conflict, and like, that's where I live, in the conflict. So there were
Okay.
many parts of me right there. My desires, my fears is my own procrastination. Am I really gonna do this? I want to do it, but am I really gonna move on it?
Mhm.
So procrastination and then conflict. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Rosita. That's interesting. That's very interesting because sometimes we enter a space and that space tells a lot about this person, the way this person dress, the way this person talks, move, everything is giving you information
Right.
and as well to create your own character. Okay, so thank you for that, Rosita.
What was interesting about this person is that we both felt that we knew each other for a long, long time, but we had just met. And it was like,
Like there was a connection.
oh, it's very deep, very deep.
Thank you, Rosita.
Um,
Thank you.
Ellie,
Rosa?
yes, I just took like a different approach. I just look at these hidden emotions that are very strange to us, like this idea. I just went to this idea of a person looking for this better half, but that better half is opposite to what she shows. And I just concentrated on that emotion, a guy that is looking for this woman that always, I don't know if I did the wrong thing, but I just got
No,
in.
no, it's
Okay, so
okay.
this man that is looking for this woman that always, que lo alaba and give her compliments, and she just is the opposite side, but is lying. It is lying because it is the opposite, but they all running from these strange feelings. So, and I mean that sense there. I don't know if I
Yeah,
I just
it's okay. I mean, this exercises is for that. You can go anywhere you want. You
okay.
allow yourself to go through this prompt and create. And then you're going to take something out of there, maybe a story, maybe a character, maybe a conflict. But
Okay.
there's nothing right or wrong. It's about being open to create, and I think that's an story. You had an story there of this person has a desire and also a conflict, so it's
Mm,
something you can continue. Okay,
thank
thank you, Rosa. We will continue with the next exercise. Also, Leslie shared something in the chat. Okay, the next one. So this one is more about this impossible biography. So you're gonna write the opening page of a completely false autobiography of you. And you're gonna start this with no one knows this about me, but, and you're gonna create something false about you. Everything that follows must be invented. Like the more impossible, the better for you. Like try to get out of yourself and create something funny, crazy around your life. Okay? So let's play with this one. Starting with all of you will start with this phrase. No one knows this about me, but da, 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 da. Let's see how creative you can be and get out of your comfort zone. Okay? Okay. I always like to ask you questions between exercises because I think it's not just about doing the exercises, but about understanding my creative process. Okay, so that's why I ask questions. So I just want to ask you now, like, was it easy to create this new impossible biography of me or not? Or I was too close to my reality? Let me know what happened here. Could
In my
you detail?
case,
Uh-huh.
in my case, I have to become vulnerable and then lie to that vulnerability. That was my thinking. Like, okay, let it go. Don't think about your parents. Don't think about yourself. Don't think about your family. Don't think about what people will think. Just make it bad. Make it like crazy. So in that moment, when I just kind of have like an alter ego, I don't know, like I change, then I start
Mm-hmm.
writing. That was for me that process.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. And it's incredible how we still, even though this is not real, we still care about how others see us. Like, why does she took that decision, even though there is this part of us like trying to judge the process. So thank you for being open and being vulnerable to the process. What else? Someone else. What happened there?
You know, these exercises are stretching me. Ah! So I'm uncomfortable, but I also know that they're good for me. Stretching as a
Yeah,
writer, stretching as a human being is good. It's growth. It's allowing for new possibilities, new ways of thinking.
I
Um,
agree. I agree with
I really appreciate this. I appreciate the discomfort.
that. Yes, we need to be challenged sometimes for ourselves, for our growth. Like you said, like, okay, now I need to get out of my head and
Right?
think about what could have happened or what if, you know? And that process, maybe then you don't write that story and that's okay, but you could see what am I possible to do? What
Mm-hmm.
can I do if I just get out of this one moment? So yes, that discomfort is good sometimes. I know. Yeah. Leslie said I had a hard time with this one, but I wrote something and then at the end came up with an aha moment of where my direction. Yes, those aha moment comes with the process, with the creation. So I'm happy that you're being challenged and that you allow this to happen and you don't stay in the same place. You change and then you can go back, but you had a change. Okay. So we have two more left. Let's continue. Thank you for being open and for sharing with me and all of us. Okay. Let me continue. So the next one is oh, sorry. You're gonna choose someone else who fascinates you, like it can be a celebrity, a historical figure, a politician, an artist, whoever you want. And now you're gonna imagine that you borrow tomorrow morning, you wake up, you borrow their life, and tomorrow morning you wake up living their life. Okay, they're at their home with their body, with their career, their relationship, whichever you thought was what you wanted. At first, you're gonna start writing, and you're gonna write as if, oh, this is a dream come true for me. I love it, ta ta ta. But then you're gonna finally have you thought you have everything you wanted, but then you're gonna discover something about this person, like a secret, like a fear, like a regret, or whatever, and that is going to change you in that moment. So I am here, I am this celebrity, I'm very happy, and then I find out this woman killed someone. How I react to that. Okay? So first, pick the person that you want to live their life. You will show us how you feel living their life and how you feel when you know this secret or this fear or this regret or this sacrifice this person did. Okay? Is it clear? Yes? Okay. I'm going to set the timer then. This can play along with what Leslie says, like you thought someone is so happy and have everything figured out, but life is not. Everyone has their own fears, secrets, things. So it's like trying to show that with the writing. Okay, before we start sharing, I want you to tell me, like, why do you pick this person? Don't tell us the person, just why. Just the why.
In my case, because of how powerful her persona is and how she can, through her art, make me feel so much emotions, like if I connect with her every time she shows her art.
Okay, that's beautiful and powerful, Rosa. Thank you. Leslie said, I'm fascinated by her life and her motherhood. Lovely. Rosita?
I chose her because I like to have her qualities about herself. Although I perhaps already have those qualities. There is a saying, a slogan in Al-Anon, says, if you spot it, you got it.
I agree. I
Which,
agree.
which relates mostly to character defects. You know, when we criticize other
Mhm.
people, we got those,
Yeah.
and we don't like that about ourselves, so we're criticizing them.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in this case, I want some of her qualities. She is no nonsense. She hones in on a problem. She gets in there and takes out all the possible reasons why the problem exists and the related situations caused by this problem, and then she offers a viable solution, which is like great. She doesn't just leave you in the muck.
Thank you. Uh-huh.
Right. But then her defect is is that people can't take that kind of honesty. It's too much. They can't handle it. So she loses out.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Rosita. Okay, who wants to read like a page or some paragraph of one of the exercises so we can see what came out of that? Yeah? Leslie, go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
We all listen to her. Yeah.
I woke up being Hoda, and I couldn't believe it. I walked the girls to school, met with my team in the mornings to kick off the year anniversary of my business, Joy 101. I also was able to pick up my daughters when they came home from school. I spent time with them and imagine this must be like to be a good mother. The girls welcomed me in the mornings and looked for me at night. It was like it's like they are kittens desperate for love and attention. And then I see it. The album, one for grace and one for hope. I open it. There are pictures inside. This is their Genesis albums, their adoption stories unfolded in documents, pictures, and details of the very first beginnings of their lives. One page describes one of the girls being found in garbage. No one knows how the baby got there. And another page held a picture of me, of her, Hoda, holding the baby. One of the babies in the States, smiling, endless smiling. She got to keep the baby from the trash. She will never forget it.
Wow, Leslie, what do you think? What do you guys think? How you felt through that uh story?
I was hooked from the beginning, but I also wanted to know more about, because she, in the last sentence, she wrote something that makes you wonder more. Like, please tell me more. Like, how does that happen? So it was great narrative.
again, I was hooked from the beginning. The descriptions, I could see like the whole scenes, and also I could see the scene at the end. So I just want to know more.
Totally. Which exercise was this, Leslie?
Oh, this was from the Borrowed Life. Is Hoda Kotb. She's a news anchor, and she has two adopted daughters.
Wow.
And I always imagined to be like her, like, she's famous, she's a good mom, and she has two daughters. Their name is Grace and Hope. And so I guess I was in the story, I was trying to write that she has this album where, she sort of shows the girls. I mean, I could write more about it, but she shows this is fictional, obviously, but she shows the girls their beginnings and kind of shows the girls this is you we found one of you in the trash, right? And like to show the anyways, I'm gonna stop there, but it's like this happens in real life actually. They are adopted parents that sort of have albums of their kids and they think that they're being loving, but in reality it's like there's the ugly side to it.
Wow. Rosita, do you want to comment something on the exercise?
On the exercise, this is the latest, right? The Borrowed Life. I already did. Oh, you mean on hers?
Let me comment and then you can go. Leslie, I love it. I think like Kim said, you got our attention, the details, the album, the names, like everything was leading us to those moments, and we felt that emotion through the character. So I think you got something quite interesting with the album and the photos and the situation, like how this it's interesting how from this exercise you could bring all that from another people's life. Okay, now you can go, Rosita. Which one you want to read?
Oh, okay. Well, I just read one. Okay,
Okay.
The Impossible Biography. So, no one knows this about me, but I was a sneaky child. I always managed to do things when people turned their backs. This was mostly to get away with the infraction and never have to apologize, but also to bypass their judgment. I can't forget the day I was alone in my third grade classroom and I took the opportunity to peek inside the teacher's desk. In those days, the desks were made of a stylish wooden box with a lid and a solid plank above the hinges with a long groove to place one's pencil and pen. On the side of that plank was a hole where we could place a small bottle of ink, China ink, that is. This was before fountain pens and much earlier than ball pens. The teacher's desk was 4 times bigger than the students'. I was amazed at the order inside that quiet box that was her desk. I was surprised to find a few pesos. I didn't know the nuns handled money, but unbeknownst to me, there was a nun observing me from the second floor balcony across the middle lawn. I don't believe I took the money, although sometimes I think I did. I don't think I did because I would remember what I would have done with those pesos. That was the end.
What do you think about this story? This was whole imagination, right? It wasn't real. Okay, what do you think?
Hmm. Well,
No, the others, not you, the others
okay,
from your story.
So
Rosa?
I just like the way that you actually work with the setting, bringing us with your visuals to where you were and the actions that you were taking. But I just love the images that you created. Like I can see the desk, I can see your persona in that space. So that was very good.
Yes, totally. The details. I love the doubt. Like, I didn't know if I took the pesos or not. That was quite interesting, like, and tells a lot about the character and how you were able to create with so much details this imaginary story. So I think you got something interesting to continue there. Okay. Thank you, Rosita. Rosa, do you want to read yours? Go ahead.
And I'm gonna go with the fake biography too, because actually you were describing me. I was so mischievous, but I created this one, which is very interesting for me. So let me see. No one knows this about me, but it is time I shed my skin and remove the armor. This positive facade, this person who helps, who supports, who is always first in line for every human cause is a joke. Yes, a complete joke. People see kindness, I feel resentment. People see strength, I feel tiredness, I put there, but people see generosity, I feel hunger. My days are filled with reproaches, jealousy, and envy. I look at other people's life and wonder why they seem to have received a different script. Some nights I drink myself to sleep, not to celebrate, not to relax, but to disappear, to stop feeling, to stop thinking, to stop existing. And then I jump and I started writing, like Rosa Saldaña was born in a hospital in the Dominican Republic that looked more like a forgotten hallway than a place where life began. And then I just put certain ideas of how my early life affected who am I now, but totally opposite to what I am. Like I
Wow.
went all the way, like people think that I am nice, but let me put myself all the way on the other side, like the worst evil person, and just play with that. And it hurts when I was writing
Yeah.
it. It hurts. It actually said, oh my
Yeah.
God. But that's a very good thing that I did there. And I put so many like bullets that I wanted to spend. I like this one a lot.
You stretched a lot.
And we could feel those emotions, those big emotions coming out, We were with the character.
Thank you.
Yeah, totally. Great exercise of release. Also, to allow yourself to be that person. Okay, Kim and Diana, do you want to read yours?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead, Kim.
Okay, this is also fiction. Well, everything was fiction. Just making sure.
Clarifying.
Yeah, clarifying. It was time to end our relationship. We love each other so much, and because of that love, it was best to let each other go. It wasn't about meeting someone else. It wasn't about hating you. It wasn't about me. It wasn't about you. It was about us. Every day, I saw myself as the less attractive woman. I saw myself as miserable, unsuccessful woman who felt like she was only playing at chasing her dreams. My jealousy grew because my anxiety was hidden. Deep inside, I knew I wasn't going to lose you because we love each other so much, but I didn't know how to love myself when I was alone. It is one of the biggest and most loving decisions I have ever made. I knew you needed to explore other experiences, other feelings, and because we love each other so much, staying together the way we were wasn't going to work. I needed to see myself and learn how to love myself alone. I hate comparing myself to others, but it's true. I wasn't doing enough for my own life, but I was doing everything I could do to save this relationship. You became my family. You became the person I trust with my whole heart. But I didn't know how to trust myself or how to become my own family. I am embarking a new chapter of my life without you, without my family. And every time I have to take a flight back to what is now my hometown, it hurts. My eyes fill with the tears knowing that you won't be there but beside me. I hate seeing myself in the mirror crying. But we love each other so much that it's time for a sweet, painful, and deeply needed goodbye.
Wow, Kim. Wow, you guys are intense. I love it. And even though you say it's not real, we can all relate to that feeling, to that leaving someone, leaving situation, leaving a country, Sometimes, yeah, Rosa, do you want to comment?
Oh, no, no. I am just saying that I was with you with all those emotions, like, and I felt it, and something that caught me right away was a phrase in this end, like that you think you were losing him. That was so, I mean, with those few words, it says so much because sometimes we think we are losing somebody, but it's losing ourselves too. I mean, it was beautiful, very, very, very descriptive, and the rhythm. I just loved like the rhythm that you were using, telling the story, how it was unfolding. Like I want to be there with you. Tell me more. Tell me more.
Yes, yes, totally. I agree. Thank you, Kim, for that. And Diana, do you want to go? Last person? King is reading my journal. Well, and thank you, everyone. I love this workshop. I think we get out a lot of things out, and that's interesting. Like how with creating based on someone else, we release a lot of ourselves. So I just want you to keep thinking about that and maybe explore the exercises again to see what you can bring to that. Okay. Thank you for being open. That's very important because from honesty and this emotional truth, then you can find a great story. Okay? Thank you.